In today's video, I'm going to show you how to achieve this stunning eyeshadow look that I'm wearing. For today, I use the Jaclyn Hill Volume 2 eyeshadow palette. This is what she looks like. She is definitely colorful, yet you have your neutral shades. So if you have this palette, take it out. If you don't, that's okay. Let's work with what you have. If you're new to my channel, what's up? My name is Ashley. I upload beauty, fashion, and lifestyle videos Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 12 p.m. So if you're into that content, consider subscribing, and let's get into today's video. Now that I have you all closed, we can get started. The first thing I like to do is to carve my eyebrows. So for that, I'm going to be using this e.l.f. concealer. This is the hydrating version, and this is in the shade Light Sand. And I'm going to be using this Morphe M224 brush to apply it. I just feel like it's a good brush that I'm able to just function and put right under the brow. I like to do this because I feel like I'm already going to be able to see the shape of my brow better, and then that way I'm not trying to carve my eyebrows after I apply my eyeshadow, because then I feel like I'll take some of the eyeshadow off, if you know what I mean, because I go pretty high up. So if I were to clean this up right now, it's just not something that I would like to deal with. So this is why I do this first. For eyeshadow primer, I'm going to be using this one. This is the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer in Eden. I think that's how you say it. I always say it wrong, and you guys like tell me about it, but you know, it is what it is. And I'm just going to apply it like that, but then I'm going to use a brush. I'm going to be using this double-ended eyeshadow brush that usually comes in those Urban Decay eyeshadow palettes. I'm going to use the fluffy side to blend this out. Now you can go ahead and just apply primer and then go about it, but I like to also be a little extra. So I'm also going to be using this. This is the Louise BasePro. This is in the shade Rumour 02. I just love that stuff, but I cannot use it on its own. If I were to use it on its own, I'll crease like crazy. So that's why I only apply it when I have a base underneath, if that makes sense. Even if I apply a little bit, it just doesn't work for me for whatever reason. I don't know if you guys have tried it. I mean, it's really good. It's some really good stuff, but I just cannot use it alone, sadly. But I'm just going to put this all over the lid, and it's going to help give a little bit more pigment and coverage. As you can see, I already kind of have this eye started. Typically, I like to film looks for Instagram too, so if you guys want to follow me there, go ahead and do so for some, you know, inspiration, and you just get to see what I'm doing. But let's just go ahead and start. So I'm going to be using this Morphe JH35 brush. These brushes that I'm using, most of them are also from the Jaclyn Hill collection that she did with Morphe. I love them personally. But I'm going to go ahead and grab this color here called Feeling Myself, because girl, that's what we're going to do today. We're going to be feeling ourselves. We should always do that, girl. What you mean? You feeling some type of way? Now when you're trying to do this look, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a little bit but then tap it off, because I want to slowly build up the color. If you go straight in with a lot of pigment, it's going to be really hard to blend. And you can see that there's already some color coming through, even though I only grabbed a little bit. But if you go in really hard with that color, it's just going to make it hard for you. So I always suggest to start little by little and build it up, instead of the other way around. But I'm just going in circular motions across the crease. That's mainly where I want to place this color. When I was thinking about what look to do today with this palette, like honestly, I'm grabbing a little bit more. I just wanted to do something that was going to be cute and like, you know, like glowy, but not that it's going to take you 1,000 years to blend. So I feel like this is going to be good. You should be able to do it at home. It's not going to be too hard or complicated for you. So I really hope that you guys like it. So again, I'm just going back and forth in circular motions on the crease. And I'm trying to focus it mainly on the crease. I don't want to bring it up too high just yet, but very lightly focusing more. Not very lightly, we're building it up, but I want to focus this color mainly on the crease, and then whatever is left, we can go ahead and buff it upwards. Something to be mindful about is if you have smaller eyes, if you bring this color all the way in to like the inner part of the eye, kind of how I'm doing, it will make your eye appear a bit smaller. So if you don't want that, I suggest maybe to kind of very lightly not go all the way in, or even you can go back with concealer and kind of like clean that up a bit. So that's just something to keep in mind. I grabbed a little bit more, and you can see how now we're really getting that good pigment in there. But if we went straight in, it would have been so hard to blend. But there she is. She is feeling herself. Now with a flat eyeshadow brush, unfortunately I don't know where this is from. It doesn't have a name or anything, but any eyeshadow brush that's flat will do. I'm going to go ahead and grab this color here called Flawed and Odd. It is very beautiful. I love it. So we're going to go ahead and grab some of that. We're not wetting the brush or anything. And we're going to apply this all over the lid. This color is so beautiful. And I feel like a lot of people shy away from like that color Feeling Myself, the one that we put on the crease. I feel like it can be a tad bit intimidating, but I think if you just play with it and add a little amount at a time, you will really enjoy it. Like this look is somewhat giving me summer vibes in this winter day, but it's all good, especially in Cali. Like it's never really winter. You know, we get the sun year round. Here and there we get gloomy days, but it's Cali. Our weather's a little bit different. But I'm just applying it and I'm trying to bring it up to the crease. That way right now when we're going to go over it again and blend it, it all looks nice. And I'm putting it also all over the outer part of the eye too. So just keep applying until you like the way that it looks. Back with the JH35 brush, whatever is left from that Feeling Myself color, I'm just going to go over the crease. That way everything is nice and blended. And there's no harsh lines. So very, very lightly. If you feel that you need more pigment on the crease, you can go ahead and grab a little bit more of that color and pop it on there. But I'm pretty satisfied right now with the pigment on the crease. And again, it doesn't really have that much. I'm just going to blend very lightly on the outer part of the eye. That way everything's just nice and blended. We just want everything smooth and blended. We don't want any harsh lines. Actually, now that I look at this eye, I do feel that it needs a little bit more orange. So I'm going to grab a little bit more of that Feeling Myself color and focus it on the crease to build it up just a tad bit. You don't have to bring it too up high, but just be mindful of your eye shape. So just going somewhat window wiper motions, but not really, because I'm kind of like a little bit of everything. Circular motions and going back and forth. Now with this JH31 brush, it doesn't have anything on the brush. I'm just going to use that to blend the Feeling Myself color. That way it isn't so harsh before I apply a somewhat transition shade. So there's circular motions. Now for the transition shade, which isn't really a transition shade for me. It's just more like I'm going to put it on the eyebrow. Let's just call it a transition shade. But I'm going to use this color here called Certified because we're trying to get certified, baby. So I'm going to grab a little bit of that color. It almost seems like a white, but it's not a white. But it's still good for me. I'm just going to go right underneath the brow bone to give a highlight. And as well as blend that eyeshadow and make it nice and smooth. Now with this JH41 brush, I'm going to grab this color here called Talia. I believe that's how you say it, but it's this beautiful like yellow gold color. I'm not going to wet the brush. I'm just going to get some on that brush straight from the pan. And I'm just going to dab this or tap this in, however you want me to say it, on the center. Now, as you can see, this color looks a little bit similar to the shade that we applied on the lid. So it's not going to give you a drastic look, but it does make a difference because it makes it just like pop. I don't know if you can see what I'm saying, but it just gives a nice glow on the center of the lid. If you wanted this to be a little bit more metallic like, you can definitely wet your brush with like one of your setting sprays. But I'm not gonna do that. You see it? It's like nice and glowy. You don't know how bad I want to grab one of those like brown colors, for example like G Money from this palette, and apply it on the outer part of the eye, but I'm like, no, Ashley. Because that's gonna darken up the look, and for me the look that I was trying to go for is very like light and glowy, like summer vibe, you know? I actually don't have any fallout, surprisingly, but I always normally do my eyes first just in case that there might be some fallout. But I'm going to go ahead and do my face makeup and then come back and finish the eyes. Okay, so I'm back. Let's go ahead and continue with the eyes. So now I'm going to use this Morphe brush. This is the M508. And I'm going to grab this color here called the G Money. And this reminds me of like 50 Cent. Or isn't there like an artist called G Money? I don't know, but we're going to make this money. I'm just going to grab a little bit, tap a little bit off. And then I'm going to focus this on the lower lash line. I want the lower lash line to be a little bit smoky but not overwhelming. This G Money has a little bit of like an orange tone to it, so that way it's not going to be like a deep brown, or it's not going to be really like that off. So just go ahead and keep going back and forth. I like this brush just mainly for placement, but then I'm going to get a different brush to diffuse it a little bit more. Now with this JH40 brush, it has a little bit of that G Money color. I'm going to use that to buff out the lower lash line. That way it doesn't look like such a harsh line. So just going back and forth. This part usually makes my eyes so watery. I think it does for most people. It's just a weird feeling. Now for the inner corner highlight, I'm going to grab this color here called I'm In It. So it's funny because in the pan itself, like I don't know if you can see it, but it kind of just looks like white. But when you put it on the actual lid, it has this undertone of pink, as you can see on the other eye that I already applied it. So I'm just going to grab some of that, and I'm going to place it right on the tear duct. Normally I would have grabbed like a different color that's like a little bit more of a gold shimmer than this one, but I'm not mad about this one. It's just on the palette itself, I wasn't seeing a different like inner corner highlight that I would have liked, and I wanted to maintain everything just from this palette. I noticed for me personally in my kind of like eye situation, I cannot put on false eyelashes without there being any kind of like liner, because then you're going to be able to see the lash really badly. It's just, for me, I've seen other people do it and I'm like, girl, I wish I can do that, but on me no me sale. So I don't want it to be too dark. So I'm going to be using this NYX eyeliner. This is actually in brown. Let me see exactly. It's called Chocolate Brown. Now this is a little bit dried out, so I'm going to have a little bit of a hard time doing it. And wow, I was about to put it in the wrong eye. I'm just going to go ahead and put it as close to the lash line as possible. And this is just going to help blend the lash line. And I'm not trying to wing it, I'm just trying to create a line. But when you're going more towards the other part, you kind of want to like feather it out, that way it doesn't look so harsh. I already went ahead and curled my lashes, so now for mascara I'm going to be using this L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Paradise, and this is in the color black. So I'm just going to go ahead and coat them. I feel like my top lashes they just don't really do much for me. Like I can't just wear a mascara and that's it. I've seen some people do it and their lashes look so good. My lower lashes I feel like are fire, but like fire isn't like a good thing. But my top ones I'm just kind of like, girl, you're supposed to be my moneymaker. To make sure that the lash line blends even better, I'm going to be using this MAC Black Eyeliner Pencil. And I'm going to put that on the top waterline. That way when you put on your falsies, everything should blend nicely. I'm also going to use the MAC eyeliner in Nude. And I want to put that on the lower lash line. And that is going to help make the eye like look a little bit more open. Lashes, I'm going to be using these Kiss lashes. And now this is in the style Chiffon. Chiffon. I don't think I'm saying that right, but this is what it looks like. Chiffon. Like chiffon. Okay, let me go ahead and put these on and then I'll show you the final look. This is the final look. I'm really happy with the way that this look came out. Again, my goal was to create something that was going to be very achievable, very simple. That way you don't get overwhelmed with having to add all these different colors and then blending for so long. I feel like this look is just very simple, glowy, good for the summer, good for, you know, sitting in the living room, because that's what I'm about to do right now. But I really hope that you like this look. This is actually my 4th tutorial where I use this eyeshadow palette. If you would like to see the other 3 looks that I created using this palette, then check out the iCard. I'll go ahead and link those videos for you, as well as down below in the description box. So if you want to see some more of my videos, check those out. I hope this look inspired you to create. If it did, comment down below. Let me know will you be recreating this look. What are your thoughts on the palette, or what other tutorials you would like to see from me? I love to interact with you. All the makeup details as to foundation, lip gloss, everything that I'm wearing on my face, I'll go ahead and I'll list for you guys down in the description box, so check that out if you have any questions. You're more than welcome to follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. I post little previews of what I'm filming, behind the scenes, and all that goody good stuff, so we can be, you know, friends. I upload beauty, fashion, lifestyle videos Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 12 p.m. So if you're into that content, consider subscribing. Hit the bell button to get notified when I upload a new video. Hit that like button and let me know what you like and don't like. Now, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you on my next video. Bye!